Kathy Griffin screams. You guys can read it for yourself. She's at it again after Sarah Sanders makes her cry like a baby, by Rebecca DeCirio, Entertainment Politics for MadWorldNews.com. Kathy Griffin is terrified of Sarah Huckabee Sanders. Griffin decided to threaten the White House press secretary yesterday, screaming a bizarre stream of expletives, which included blank blank and don't you come for me. I didn't call you. Well, Sarah called Griffin's bluff and let her crying like a baby, annihilating her trashy career for good. You know, how crazy. They have no shame. Kathy Griffin's D-list comedy career careened into the toilet after she did that ill-advised photo shoot holding up Donald Trump's head. It was truly a sick stunt that is now back in the news after Roseanne Barr's infamous tweet about Valerie Jarrett got her fired from ABC. It's a double standard. I don't know what kind of world we're living in. Griffin's stunt is being compared to Barr's for one reason, namely to compare the treatment of leftists versus conservatives. Griffin at first apologized reluctantly for the photo, but recently she took her apology back while on ABC's Shrew-Fest. The View, as Joyless Behar and the rest of the Harpies applauded wildly. Yeah, I remember that. She's probably wearing a wig in this picture. Griffin said that she regrets apologizing to Trump because it just made her part of the Trump wood chipper, which Michelle Wolf is in now. When all she wanted to do was make a statement about what a misogynist the president is. Asked later if she thinks the photo went too far, she said, "No, not now. Not when I see his policies." Really, Kathy, you're making another mistake after another mistake. It's important, Griffin said. The First Amendment is the First Amendment for a reason. It's the first one. And also, I mean, the thing is, this guy just is different, but I guess that doesn't apply to Roseanne Barr. While not excusing her tweet, she doesn't excuse it either. But these liberals treat Kathy Griffin like a hero. And Roseanne gets fired and vilified by the same Hollywood crowd. Yeah, because it depends on who you're supporting. So, now that was last month, as Griffin also accused Trump supporters of wearing Hillary Clinton t-shirts with her head decapitated. Interesting. I didn't know that one. Well, that's just a lie. In fact, it's a bold-faced lie that Hillary herself spread. Oh, that's why I didn't hear about it, because it's a lie. Even the Huffington Post had to admit that they couldn't find these so-called t-shirts anywhere. Isn't that disgusting? Making up stories on top of that. I mean, it is really, you liberal nut jobs are really disgusting. Unbelievable. How could you report on something that is so fake? Oh my. Anyway, even the Huffington Post had to admit that they couldn't find these so-called t-shirts anywhere, even though the failed presidential candidate swore they were being sold and worn at the 2016 RNC convention. Oh, if she's talking about it that far back, we definitely know that that was a lie, because we didn't even see those things going on back then. This is exactly how the leftist machine rolls. They spread lies, and their useful idiot followers, like Kathy Griffin and the Harpies on The View, repeat those lies enough times, then boom, those lies now become facts to many Americans who just aren't paying attention. which brings us to White House Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders. Kathy Griffin and liberal women in general hate Sarah with a real violent vengeance. Really, they are terrified of the press secretary for one reason. She's a brawler, a street fighter who takes no prisoners, and she takes on the leftist media daily and defends the president so well that the haters are left in the dust. Actually, she carries herself so well, Sarah Sanders. She really does. I don't know how she controls herself at some points. I would literally lose it. So yesterday, the president weighed in on the Roseanne Barr debacle, tweeting Bob Iger of ABC called Valerie Jarrett to let her know that ABC does not tolerate comments like those made by Roseanne Barr. Gee, he never called President Donald J. Trump to apologize for the horrible statements made and said about me on ABC. Maybe I just didn't get the call. You see? Double standard, So, what happens next? During the daily White House press conference, the leftist media get in Sarah's face about the president's tweet. And Sarah Sanders was waiting for those losers to do just that. She launched into a rant excoriating all the Hollywood Trump haters, and she was masterful. Let's see, the president's pointing to the hypocrisy of the media, saying the most horrible things about this president, and nobody addresses it. So right. She said, where was Bob Iger's apology to the White House staff for Jameel Hill calling the president and anyone associated with him a white supremacist? To Christians around the world for Joy Behar calling Christianity a mental illness? Where was the apology for Kathy Griffin going on a profane rant against the president on The View after a photo showed her holding President's head? She continued. Where was the apology from Bob Iger for ESPN hiring Keith Olbermann after his numerous tweets attacking Trump as a Nazi and even expanding Olbermann's role after the attack against the president's family? This is a double standard that the president is speaking about. No one is defending her comments. They're inappropriate. But that's the point that he was making, he added. It's inappropriate. Who cares? You know how many inappropriate things, that they have done against the conservatives? Really, let's just take a listen here, though.
That he's simply pointing out the bias. The president's pointing to the hypocrisy in the media, saying that the most horrible things about this president, and nobody addresses it. Where was Bob Iger's apology to the White House staff for Jameel Hill calling the president and anyone associated with him a white supremacist? To Christians around the world for Joy Behar calling Christianity a mental illness? Where was the apology for Kathy Griffin going on a profane rant against the president on The View after a photo showed her holding President Trump's decapitated head? And where was the apology from Bob Iger for ESPN hiring Keith Olbermann after his numerous expletive-laced tweets attacking the president as a Nazi and even expanding Olbermann's role after that attack against the president's family? This is a double standard that the president is speaking about. No one is defending her comments. They're inappropriate, but that's what the point that he was making.
Sarah.
Matthew.
Thanks, Sarah. Does the White House have any...
Well, she was very good there. Sanders nailed it, and the left, those leftist liars in the White House press corps left them speechless. Kathy Griffin was watching it too, and she became scared to death. You see, Griffin's disgusting PR stunt devastated what little career she had left. Now, just as Griffin's stunt was fading from the limelight, she goes on The View bragging about how tough she is. Kathy Griffin isn't sorry at all. No, Kathy Griffin is standing up and telling the president, blank you. But Kathy Griffin was playing it safe, doing it on The View, which no Trump supporter is watching. Now, here's Sarah Sanders telling the world that Griffin went on a profane, not sorry rant, and that she's proud as hell that she depicted the president's head. In fact, she'd do it again. Griffin freaked out as Sanders exposed her non-apology rant. She took to Twitter and threatened Sarah, tweeting blank, "Do not come for me. I did not call you. And for blank's sake, take a cold reading class. Maybe you won't stumble so much." What? What a witch. Look, now she's going to probably make fun of her in her tweet.
Where was the apology for Kathy Griffin going on a profane rant against the president on The View after a photo showed her holding President Trump's decapitated head?
Yeah, just because she made a mistake there anyway. Poor Kathy Griffin. No, you know what the thing is? Kathy Griffin's doing that to get, people to notice her again. That's why she's doing it. That it's for publicity too, because her career's down the tubes. So poor Kathy Griffin lashing out like a wounded animal who is cornered by a killer bear, telling Sarah whatever she told her is tantamount to a frightened snowflake screaming, "Get away from me, don't you talk about me. I'm freaking scared about your power." Nah, it doesn't have anything to do with that. No. Yeah, Griffin left crying like a baby. I don't think so. The washed-up D-list comedian can go crawl back under the rock that she's been under for the last year, after our courageous press secretary just annihilated Griffin's dream of any type of comeback. That's why she tweeted it. To make a comeback, to, like her name being more relevant. That's the whole thing. It's not like she was crying about that and afraid of Sarah Sanders. No, she wasn't afraid. Sarah Sanders did come for Kathy Griffin, and her stupid tweet to Sanders is the last straw. It serves as Griffin's own obituary to her trashy show business career. I agree with that. Yeah, and it says down here, Facebook has greatly reduced the distribution of our stories in our readers' news feed, and instead promoting mainstream media sources. Now there's a surprise, right? And you share on social media, however you greatly help distribute content. Please take a moment and consider sharing this article with friends and family. Well, I use it every day and share it with you guys. But yeah, Facebook, what a crock, they just want total control. That's why they fired Roseanne. They were looking at any chance because they want their own narrative being spread. You see, they don't want people thinking on their own. That's the bottom line. It's just so sickening sometimes. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching.